Go live. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I'm. I'm trying to figure out where I'm hearing you from. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Okay,
I can
beautiful.
hear you. I can hear you. How are
Good.
you? Good morning.
Good morning.
It's great to have you. Thank you for doing this, Erik. Hi, everyone. Welcome to being here. Oh, you have a traditional Chinese medicine doctor on the call.
Oh boy.
Isn't that great? And you have quite a bit in common. You both were in Australia doing surfing and stuff. So,
Oh,
um,
nice.
the reason that I wanted Erik to be here today is because we are in the week that we're practicing touch. And for me, it's important when I started doing Qi-gong, I realized how much I was disconnected with my body. I had been doing yoga and stuff. I've always been active, but somehow Qigong brought me into a different kind of body. It's as if I knew my body, but I didn't know my full body. I guess I didn't know my energetic body, my emotional body, and Qigong helped me through that. And because I think with Erik's classes, I can go there faster than anyone, I asked Erik to join me. Erik is a Qigong instructor. He's a Tuina certificate. He's a Chinese, traditional Chinese medical practitioner. How do you say
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah. Practitioner.
he has a bunch of other things, including his podcast with Kim Fleck, Healing is in Your Hands. So if you know and connect with Erik, go and subscribe to the podcast because they share tons of information. It's literally worth it. So
And
um,
and Angela's been on the podcast too. It's a great episode. So it's
I
called
love.
Visualize Your Life.
I wanted to invite Erik to share some tips, some recipes. You know, I'm not good at recipes, so people like to have something to follow. I shared a little bit about the benefits of touch and how we, when we touch ourselves and we connect, how that interferes with all sorts of things, your hormonal system, your well-being. You're hearing me okay?
Yep.
Yeah. And I think most of the people that I work with have the same disease that I used to have. I'm better, I'm recovering. I called it that I had the superwoman syndrome, you know, the do, more. And we did a lot and we do a lot. And sometimes we forget to stop and we forget to connect and we forget to turn in. As life always gives us gifts, we are being given the gift of turning in, being literally locked down, being in our houses. I think it's a great invitation emotionally to turn in as well and to connect with exactly that part that we most of the time learn to ignore, which is our energy and our emotions. So it is not only time to stop fighting, you know, do what you can with what you have, but also to forget this control part. We want to control everything, and sometimes it's just connecting and listening, and especially with the body. I think it's not so much to take it away and transform it, but actually listen to it and allow it to do whatever it has to do. But you know more than I do, Erik.
Yeah. I mean, well, you know plenty too. I mean, come on.
Just my experience. You study
Yeah.
this. This is
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah. So, and I totally agree. I mean, we are being gifted with a beautiful opportunity to take this time for ourselves, for self-care. And it's something that everyone is being forced to do with these world events, with everything that's going on. It's like you have to take the time for yourself, and you're being forced inside, and we can do whatever we want with that time, right? But there's only so much that we can do, till we get like crazy, right? And so one of the things that can help us to not be crazy is connect deeper with ourselves, right? And That is why I love Qigong. We just did a beautiful class, like you said, and I love that you join my classes all the time. Um, and I just feel like it's a simple way that we can connect with ourselves, connect with the energy that's flowing through our bodies, and help to ground ourselves, which is something that's super important, to ground our energy, to quiet our minds, to connect with all that is, all that's going on with us internally and then, externally. So, yeah.
Um, guys, feel free to type any questions. Eric, I'm just going to say something in Portuguese so they know that if they have a question, I can translate. And then, se tiverem alguma pergunta e quiserem escrever mesmo em português, eu posso traduzir para o Eric e depois nós podemos falar disso na nossa chamada quando nós nos encontrarmos no domingo. Portanto, comentem, escrevam e eu traduzo. I was just welcoming everyone to join and type any questions or comments that even if they are in Portuguese, I'll translate it for you.
Awesome.
Eric, in Qigong, we do something that you guys call it washing your face. And at the beginning, I thought, this is not washing your face. You need water to wash your face. But the more I do it, the more I realize how much more than washing it is, because it kind of awakens the system in a way that nothing seems to. So can you talk a little bit about the washing the face process?
Yeah, and we call the whole routine washing up, right? So washing up our energy, and we do that usually at the end of every class. And I feel that what it does is it's helping to like smooth our energy out a little bit more and kind of anchor the energy that we've opened up, right? And so when we're washing the face in particular, I got this headset here, but you literally are rubbing. See, I'm not gonna get it all moving around, right? And then with that point, when you get to the back, right, you're opening up the lymph system too. So it's getting the circulation, getting the energy flowing, and anytime you wash up your whole body. If you haven't felt the energy before, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel something because we're moving it around and we're opening it up. So.
And I think that's the beauty, because when we think about touch, we often think about a massage, and I need a massage therapist to do the right things on the right points. And I think the beauty of this is that just rubbing your skin and in different places, what it does for your system is really wonderful, and how it can be both energizing and calming at the same time, because it is as if it brings everything down, but at the same time I feel more awake than anything. I miss a lot of that routine. I'll start again. You just reminded how good and energetic it was. I'm sorry, I do not see who. Oh, that was Gina. Thank you. Yeah, she did a Qi-gong training in Portugal with can you type the name of where people can find that? And if you want to have classes, Eric teaches a Qi-gong class Wednesdays, 9:30 Eastern time. So that would be 2:30 in Portuguese time. And Friday, you have a Friday class, right?
Friday, 6:30 Eastern time, so that'd be kind of late.
6:30 will be very late, but Portugal. The Wednesday class would work.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I read something the other day that I found absolutely perfect for this. John Amaral, he said that suffering is the inability to connect. And I think because we are in isolation, I think we are suffering because we cannot connect. But for me, the inability to connect is with myself. If I can't connect with myself, I'll be suffering. If I can't connect with what's aching and asking for, I'll be fighting it. And with the fight, I'm going to create resistance. With the resistance, I'm going to create suffering. And I think it's really interesting to take this opportunity to self-care and turn in and touch, literally just to see what's there. Erik, the first time I had a consultation with you, you put me little seeds.
Uh, yeah.
You
Want me to
put
talk
little
about it?
seeds, yes, please,
Yeah.
because that shifted me. Whatever was going on with me at the time, I remember that, you know, it only took me like 20 minutes. By the time I got home, I started feeling the differences. So
Yeah. Good. Awesome. Yeah. And I might add too, you're a very curious person. Like, I love how you perceive things and process. It's pretty cool. So what she's talking about is called auriculotherapy. So if you guys can see here and over here, we got on Zoom too. But this is a diagram of your ear, and your ear literally represents your whole body. So I'm going to flip this around. Okay, and does it kind of look like a baby fetus?
yeah.
Right, and so that is where the points are. Okay, so this is where your head. Okay, and then you go
Oh,
down to the
cool.
spine, to the legs, to the arms. You have all the internal organs. Okay, so there's over 300 nerve endings that are these specific acupoints. So yeah, I'm gonna have to take off my headset a little bit to show you guys this. So what I do, okay, I have an ear kit here.
It's funny how
So
babies rub their ears to calm themselves down, isn't it?
yeah, and it's something that even like you were saying, a massage, that the massage therapist will rub the ears, right? And it's something that we all can do. It's part of our wash up routine, right? So I'm gonna take this off for some reason. I didn't think about when I was going to do the regular therapy that I was wearing a headset.
With headsets and you touching your ears doesn't work.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's something. Even if you don't know the points, I recommend. You know, this is like I said, part of our wash up routine. You rub the ears. You can pinch like this, and then take your thumb and your forefinger, kind of dig your nail in all these different points. You want to get to the outside, to the inside. Take a few minutes to really rub your ears, and you'll be amazed at what it's going to open up. You don't need to know all the points.
It's just making sure that you touch everywhere, right?
Yeah, yeah. You want to get everywhere that you can reach. Yeah, because then you're getting all those nerve endings.
Yeah, I also have headphones, but I'm not going to take my ears. I've done that in class, so I'm good.
So what I use when I do this with people is I take an ear probe, okay, which makes a little indent, right? So you take the ear probe, make a little indent, so it does not break the skin, okay? So it's not like a needle. Some acupuncturists will put needles in the ear, which is great, but you can't walk around with needles in your ear. But you can walk around with seeds in your ear, right? So I have a few different kinds of seeds. This is a magnet. This is silver. Then I have gold. Okay, and then I also have vicarious seeds. And depending on what you need is why you put them. So gold is nourishing, bringing that into an area. Silver is draining. Vicarious seeds is balancing, right? And magnet is to get it there very strong, very fast. So I'm just going to demonstrate this.
You have a traditional Chinese medicine doctor student being very happy with you right now.
Cool. So I'm going to use this as like kind of like a little guide. So I made a little indent to get to like the head.
Okay, so you first kind of map it, and then.
All right, so I missed, but that's okay. I got to the frontal part of the head instead of the back of the head, but you get a good idea
Cool.
of what that is. Okay.
So if people do a consultation with you, even if it's online, you can show them where to press.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially, let me put the headset back on. Especially if they're dealing with a certain thing, like for instance, like a headache, right? Yeah. I'll say, okay, pinch these points on your head, right? And sometimes you can even find, like if you have mustard seeds, in the pantry, right? And then you
You can
cut
use
up a
them.
tiny little Band-Aid. You make that little indent. You put that mustard seed in there. Put the Band-Aid on there. Voila! You can do it yourself. You know, you got to look in the mirror, and but
Yeah,
especially the head points because of where they are, they're a little bit easier to
they're
reach.
easier. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Erik. I like that.
Yeah. So that's auriculotherapy.
I love that because mainly I think that's more for healing. But if you don't have anything, if you're sitting on the sofa and you're feeling sorry for yourself for not being able to go out and do whatever, it's something that you can easily do. And it's calming your system. It's creating all sorts of touching your hormones and releasing all sorts of hormones. How long do the seeds stay?
Yeah, so they stay usually 4 to 7 days. They'll stay on. So then the adhesion of the Band-Aid's going to wear off. So.
Yes, I remember because you said, when it falls, let it. But I remember I was pressing it for a while. Every time I got addicted to it, every time I just wanted to press it. But the idea of self-care and the idea of touch is really for you to come in, to turn into your body. And sometimes it could be as simple as holding, placing your hands on yourself. You also did EFT, right?
Yeah, I do EFT.
Because the EFT also uses the Chinese meridians, right? The ones in the face. So, and it is tapping. The common word is tapping. And even if you're not doing anything, even if you're just tapping, it's something that you can actually use to calm yourself down, or to just bring the attention to this moment, which I think it's what's being asked, is to be in the present. We're so used to do and do more, and we used to control things. We used to make things happen on schedule because we ask for them, because we want them. And now we're not being able to, have power over things and control what things are. So I think the beauty about it, it's not only to notice that we are addicted to doing and addicted to make happen and to control, but also that we can turn in and we can listen to what that mechanism is doing and bring ourselves to contact with that. Because there's nothing to do there but to notice and listen. And when we do, actually, it flows. It goes into its own direction. What else, Erik? What else can we do to actually create this self-sustaining self-care connected to touch? How can we have the right touch?
So we have, in Chinese medicine, we have 12 paired meridians in the body, okay? And so there's actually 6 meridians going down each arm and 6 meridians going down the other arm, right? So they're paired. And then there's 6 coming down each leg, right? So part of that wash-up routine, what we do is we clap down the arm, so you're going to the top, getting some of those meridians, and then you bring it up inside. And you see, I'm doing it kind of hard. Like, people are like, oh, does it hurt? I'm like, no, it actually, I mean, because I've been doing this for so long, I've built up stamina, but it's like, you really want to feel it, because if you do it light, it's nice too, but like when you do it like this, you're really going to feel the energy open up. You're getting that visceral sensation, right? So you can start by doing a few rounds, going down arms. And then you shift and you go to down the legs. So you do this in a standing position just to kind of show you.
Thank you.
So I'd be just like standing flat on the ground, but just to give you a demonstration, okay? And you can even make fists, right? Go down, fists down the side of the leg and up. Okay, and you can go down the chest, the stomach. And see, if you're practicing this, how do I set the ribbon? Does it change in COVID times? Interesting question.
It is a very interesting question.
Yeah. I would say maybe the rhythm should be a little bit slower in these times because, like Angela said, we're so used to going, right? Let's do everything we can to move as slow as we possibly can. So, but it's all just like feeling your body, tuning in with yourself, and just figuring it out. It's like playing a drum, but you're playing yourself. You're opening up your own vibration, your own
Yeah.
rhythm. So, and that's like with the EFT, the same thing. The tapping is all about too. And those are specific acupoints. Go ahead.
We'll go to the points. I'm sure
Yeah.
some people here are going to be very happy to go to the points. But when you talked about the arms, is there, we should start one point and go to a next? What's the sequence?
It doesn't really matter. You could just go however you feel. If you want to go down the inside first and then go up the outside, that's okay. If you want to go to the left or you want to go to the right, it doesn't matter.
And one opens, the other closes. Is that what you said?
No, it's really more focusing on opening. Yeah.
Okay.
Like just not really close, because it's automatically gonna, like you're gonna contain your energy, right? So mostly we need to open because we tend to build up blockages of energy flow, right?
Yeah.
So generally that's more of what we need. If someone has, very yang, excessive energy and they need to cool down the yang energy, yeah, you wanna close it in. But like for the purpose of this routine, it's more focusing on opening and like letting the energy do what it needs to do.
Yeah.
Like we call the smart chi, the smart energy flowing through our body. So
I actually call it my hygiene routine, right? Because I shower and brush my teeth and I do my personal hygiene routine, which we were taught when we were kids, but no one taught me to do my emotional hygiene routine. No one told me to do my energetic one. And I think the best way to do it is through feeling. And I loved your response. It doesn't really matter, because what I've learned throughout the times is that I go often with what's calling.
yeah.
If I'm doing it on my own, today in class you actually said, follow the chi. And I think we all should learn to follow life.
Yeah.
And our lives have taught us, I know yours too, you shared this on your podcast, Healing is in Your Hands. Our lives have taught us that life will take us. We have plans, we have great plans, but then something happens, plans can't be fulfilled. And then we realize, this is what I needed, much more than whatever plans we had. So if we've learned to follow life, sometimes it's just to listen. And most of the time our body's in sync with whatever is needed. So by turning to ourselves, we do connect to life. And that energy is really what needs our attention. With emotions, I talk about this a lot. With emotions, because we deny the negative emotions, what we call negative emotions, which I don't like to call them that, because we deny those emotions, we sometimes run away from them. But then we're spending a lot of energy running away, as opposed to connecting with what's here and allow that emotion to, flow, do its thing, and tell us what it needs.
Yeah. And there's so much of that, I feel like right now in this time with everything with COVID-19, it's like people can't suppress it like they have been able to. Everything is coming up, everything is to the surface, and it's okay. We have to feel all this stuff. It's very intense what's going on right now.
Absolutely.
And that's why we need to find these routines so we don't go crazy, literally. So
yeah, I often been saying, when people talk about isolation, I often say, because people say this is a punishment. And I say, yes, in society, we use isolation as a punishment, but the enlightened beings, the monks in Tibet, they use isolation to actually connect and get enlightened.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is an opportunity for us. I mean, I don't want to be enlightened, but I do want to connect with my light.
Yeah.
And
And that's the thing. Yeah. And looking at it as finding the blessings within it, you know,
yeah,
like all these other things are ripped away, but what can we focus on that we can do in our life right now? You know,
absolutely.
what's the most important, you know, thing. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Can you share with us a little bit of your self-care routine, just to give us ideas if that connects with touch?
Sure. Um, so yeah, I mean, I do the Qigong practice and we do the washing up and stuff. I also open up specific acupoints. Right now I'm doing a lot of stuff to help like with the immune system.
Immune system.
So I use a tool. Let me grab my tool. Really can be anything, but this is a bean stone acupressure tool. And even if you don't have a tool, you can just use your finger too.
If you have
So
children, use a crayon.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, anything. Yeah, back of a pen, maybe. You know. Um, so one of the things that you want to find right now that's really important is lung one. Okay, this is the beginning of the lung meridian, and you want to go. Oh, there it is. Yeah. It's kind of like, so you have the shoulder, you have that little divot going towards the clavicle, and
So
it's
it's,
a little bit, yeah, right there. Yeah,
yeah.
Angela's showing it. Yeah. So kind of like digging in on that shoulder. And so if you have a nice little tool, it's a nice way to just kind of open it up a little bit. And you want to do both sides because they're paired. Right? This is great to open up the lungs, create expansion, help protect our lungs. And you want to do it for a few seconds on each point,
On
and then
each point.
sometimes you can like rotate, you know, from one to the other. And then another point I like to do, this is called large intestine 11. And so large intestine 11 is like kind of anterior, so like the top of the arm, but it's in that crux of the elbow. So if you bend your elbow, right, and you go towards the top, that's large intestine 11. And believe it or not, this point can actually bring down a fever. So,
Okay, that's a good one to know.
yeah, and it's a great point for the immune system. Anytime somebody has an immune system issue, and when I do acupressure with them, this point will almost always be blocked. So, and that means whether it's an autoimmune condition, whether it's cancer, or whether they have a cold or a flu, like I will go to this point like every time, and it'll always be blocked and need to be open. So it's
Okay.
something that we can do, you know, for preventative to prevent it from closing.
So how
That's
long
large.
would you say one should do it during the day? For how long, how many times?
I would say it's a good like kind of morning and evening routine. Do it for, you know, a few minutes. It can be enough. You know, you can do it for a few seconds on each point, kind of rotate from each one to the
Mm-hmm.
other. Doesn't have to be that long. So
Okay.
I'm showing you 5 points today.
Okay.
So it's a good start. So this next one is large intestine 4. Okay. So this one, I like to tell people to kind of hold their hand like this, just let it dangle, right? And then it's in between the thumb and the forefinger, kind of underneath the bone there, large intestine 4, okay? And you do both sides. This one's pretty good to get with a tool too. You can really get in there. But again, if you don't have a tool, that's fine. Just
You
use
do
your
it with
finger.
your
That
finger.
works. That works just as good.
Yeah.
Okay. This opens up everything to the head. Okay. So if you have a headache, if you have sinus congestion, nasal, you know, blockages, anything, eyes, ears, mouth, it'll open up anything to your head. Even a neck ache, stuff like that. Large intestine 4 will help. So I tend to get neck aches pretty often, so I open up this point every day. So.
Okay.
Um, So that was large intestine 4, large intestine 11, lung 1. I'm going to come back up top and show you gallbladder 20. So let's see. Am I at a good position, Angela?
Yeah.
People to see me? Okay. So this one, again, I got the headset. So you want to go the bottom of your ear, you move your thumb up to your hairline. Okay, so this is actually right under the mastoid process of the occipital bone, and you'll feel you want to dig in, so you kind of brace with your 4 fingers and then dig in with your thumbs. Okay, and you get both sides because they're paired, those meridians, right?
Yeah.
And that's gallbladder 20. That's the wind gate. Okay, so that helps to open up our wind stream, and what that means, the wind, it's preventing evil wind, what we call outside pernicious influences, OPIs, which are pathogens, viruses, bacteria, allergens, right? So we want to make this protective barrier. This point translates in Chinese to the moat that's around the city, right? So it's going back in the times of castles when they had a moat and a drawbridge, right? We don't want to let the drawbridge down. We want to keep that up, keep that moat, protect our castle, right? So that's gallbladder 20.
Cool.
Really good point for right now. Work that all the time. That was a little tight for me today.
I was going to say that when this is tight, it's painful.
Yeah, it can be painful, and you can even feel it going actually to the opposite. When you get it real good,
yeah,
you feel it go to the opposite side of your head. Yeah, and that's normal. Like, don't be like, oh, that's not right.
Yeah, you kind of feel there's something coming off.
Yeah, and it's a good. It really helps to open up, and you'll almost feel like your whole head open up when you open up this point. Yeah.
Do you have any questions, Guy? I'm just asking if they have any questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, go ahead. You continue.
Well, I was just saying that's a pretty easy one that we can reach, and a really good one to do every day, especially with everything going on right now. And then the last point I want to show, see, yeah, you guys can kind of see, is this is stomach 36. So the way you find this one is you go, it's lateral, okay, a little bit outside, but it is towards the front of your shin. You put your hand below your knee, 4 fingers. It's right beneath that 4th finger. Okay, so we call that measurements soon. So that's 3 soon, is 4 of your fingers. Okay, this is stomach 36, and this one I like to do like a little hammer to bring your hands together. It's a master point for the immune system. And again, you want to do both sides. Okay, so go over here. It'll be in the same spot, lateral, but towards the front too, the shin.
So it's 4 fingers below
your knee. Below your knee, you know, you got the base of the kneecap where the shin starts. You put your hand there, and then it's below, it would be
the outside.
Below your pinky. Yeah.
Okay.
Stomach 36. Those are 5 points you can do to open up the immune system. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And so there's so much more that's part of my self-care routine, but that's one thing I can share.
Absolutely. Erik, share a little bit with us. What else do you do? Because you're a box of treasures.
Yeah, I'm a multifaceted practitioner for sure. So as you can tell, my main facet is in Chinese medicine, and I've been training for many years in that with learning Chinese herbology, and acupressure. I also do fire cupping, gua sha, moxa, you know, the different things. Gua sha, I was going to show you guys too. This is a gua sha tool that gua sha translates to scraping in Chinese, right? And so another thing you can do is you put a little bit of oil, right, and you open up your neck, open up the lymph, right? That's another good thing for the immune system. I forgot I was going to show you guys that. And that's a simple thing that we can all do ourselves. You just put the oil on and you rub the tool up and down, right? Yeah. So I work with a lot of these Chinese medicine modalities, the Qi-gong and Tai Chi, but I also integrate other modalities that have really helped me a lot. Everything I do is stuff that has helped me to heal myself. So I work with medicinal aromatherapy. See some of these essential oils here.
Yes.
I work with. I also work with crystals, sound healing, and I help people with diet and supplements and kind of a full holistic body, mind, spirit regimen when I work with clients. And
we have a question. Carla asks, what oil do you recommend? For what purpose, Carla?
Well, she's probably thinking immune system, I bet.
That would be.
So like any of the conifers, right? So like this is white pine, okay, for hemlock. Blue spruce would be good. Any of the conifers are really going to help to support the lungs and really help to support the immune system. Frankincense is really good. I mean, there's so many that are really good for the lungs. Eucalyptus, rosemary, list goes on and on. Lavender. I make blends of essential oils too.
I was going to say, if you go to Erik's page, Erik has little videos of how he does his tinctures, and he's been teaching people a lot of stuff of what's possible to do right now for the immune system. Erik is a mushroom guy as well, so he uses.
Yeah, that's another thing I do is I forage for wild plants and mushrooms. There's actually, you're going to be seeing a lot of videos from me very soon about some that's popping up. So, but yeah, that's why I make medicine out of the things that I forage for. So I make herbal tinctures and medicinal remedies.
So if you want to go on a forest walk while you're in isolation, follow Erik.
Yeah. I think next Saturday I'm going to do a virtual forage walk. So April 11th, probably around the same time actually, probably like 11 o'clock, I think, 11 a.m. So
I think this is going to force us to invent connection with smell. So you can actually give us a little bit of your essence through video. Yeah. I think that will be the next thing. For sure, someone's already working on it.
I'm sure, yeah. The virtual experience, the augmented reality and everything, yeah.
Erik, thank you so much. I think this was amazing because it gave us literally short possible things to do. Even while you're binging on Netflix, you can literally do any of it.
Sit there and rub your ears.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can multitask. If you can't stop to do this for yourself, do it while you're binge watching.
And you can teach your family too, and help each other.
Yeah,
that's key.
Yeah. Absolutely. So thank you so much. Ginya saying thank you for both of us, and I'm sure we're gonna do some more stuff while we're in isolation for the practice. Thank you, Madalena. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Erik. It was very useful, and I'll give you feedback after we have our call. I usually meet with the group, the ones that are taking the practice serious.
Okay.
And how does this work for them? Tani saying thank you a lot. Hope to hear more from you both. And we are going to hear from Tani as well. We're going to have a live with Tani because she's a massage therapist and Ayurveda therapist. So she's going to share a bit of her secrets as well. So stay connected and have a wonderful time. Stay safe. Be home. Thank you, Erik.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. So I'll send you the recording on this.
Uh-huh.
And then let me stop the recording.